Good day to all. Wei Feng here from HarvestNet. I'm glad to be sharing today in our Simplified series in regards to IoT. So we have a number of queries from people in regards to IoT, Internet of Things. So let me quickly browse you through what is Internet of Things. Okay, through my attendance in Japan exhibitions as well as elsewhere in relation to IoT robotics, I do find that a lot of corporations, especially SMEs, are looking into adopting IoT in their production, manufacturing, etc. That is besides, of course, data analytics. Okay, so the number of frequently asked questions which they have raised up will be like, what are IoT devices? Of course, IoT devices simply are smart devices embedded into systems where it supports internet connectivity and allow us to interact with each other among these devices, okay, end to end, machine to machine, all right? And that grant us a remote access to any user and to allow us to manage it as per our requirement. And what are the examples of IoT devices? Most of you will know like drones. There's one kind of IoT devices because actually it sends information back to us and it uses a frequency, right? Other than that, it would be like smart mobile, your smart fridges, your TVs, smart watches, okay, fire alarm, to your bicycles, medical sensors for tracking. A lot of fitness people will have like their smart watches. These are the simple daily lives examples. Okay, what about how many are there going to be? Is this going to be a trend or just a fad? On our analysis, IoT devices will be increased up to 100 billion IoT product units by 2050. And of course, we will have to look at what kind of technologies are behind all this. All right, so technologies is from very low energy wireless Bluetooth, MSC to LTE, 5G, Zigbee, wireless protocols, etc. Which are very technical terms. And what exactly is the use of IoT devices? Later we'll look at in terms of different industries, what can these IoT help you? All right, and basically you may is more of the visual, the data transfer, as well as the increasing your efficiency remotely through remote controls. Okay, Industry 4.0 is actually evolved from our very first machinization using steam power all the way to mass production in Industry 2.0, okay, when we have electrical energy, to Industry 3.0 is talking about automation, your computers, your handphones, okay, electronics. Now 4.0 is more of cyber physical systems. Will be the products, the things are talking to each other, all right? And we are going to cut out more and more of the manual work as well as the physical analysis using human, right? This is due to the speed of the network is getting higher. The speed of the capacity for analysis is higher as well. Okay, and as mentioned just now, the 100 billion of product units by 2050, you can look at besides your mobile phones, your wireless LAN devices, your drones, and we are also looking at what you have in your house, your smart TVs, also your smart light bulbs with built-in CCTVs where you can actually check via handphone applications. All right, and very quickly, in terms of the frequency base, that is one of the main technology when we talk about to differentiate what is IoT. How do you surf to the internet, okay? Or how do you talk to your products, which is active or passive, for example, RFID, radio frequency ID, okay? Your near field communication, NFC, right? Your Bluetooth, as well as your GPS, okay? So a lot of times people will track their assets via more cost-effective will be QR code and barcode. Okay, that is you can have the generator to generate online for it. It's cheap. Of course, it doesn't have much security. okay, on the product itself or capacity. So you have to analyze this yourself, okay. The other things will be in terms of the what kind of protocols or technology behind it is very detailed, more for the engineers and technical side of it. But very quickly, we can look at the physical layer, the devices itself, what kind of like Wi-Fi or is it NFC or Bluetooth or 3GPP we are using. And the data will be sent through the network layer, just your telecommunication companies, okay, or your broadband companies, what kind of network layer they have to transport the information over, and what kind of application you're gonna use to actually help you to analyze all this information, okay, or project this information up to the user, okay. And if you look at in terms of data, the important expansion of digital universe, we look at the data size is getting higher and higher every day, very unstructured. And this data can be used if it's analyzed, 22% of it. Of course, you have to use it. If you don't use it, it's going to be, you're not going to create any more business intelligence out of it. And the data is coming from multiple devices, mobile devices and people. And as a move to IoT, the data is also collected from embedded systems. The data, the systems or the devices, IoT devices, which is embedded in the drones, your cars, etc. All right. So if you look at in terms of manufacturing, BMW adoption for IoT, you can see in their factories where they produce about 320,000 vehicles in this factory. The new phase of revolution is looking into interconnectivity, automation, and machine learning, plus real-time data. The use of technology you can look at besides KUKA robotics, you're looking at 3D printing to smart data analytics, where it actually effectively cut down the new application deployment by 80%. This is really important to know because you actually reduce a lot of manual updating of softwares unlike before. All right, and because now it's using cloud. At the same time, it reduces the quality issues by 5%. As I'm formerly from Ericsson, we do know that even 1% of the quality issues is a real headache to us. Now, what can you do if you are trying to adopt IoT manufacturing? What are the benefits? Okay, besides 1.5 trillion to global, such in terms of productivity, smart factories actually help you in terms of corporate philosophy. You must adopt is digitalization. Okay, how to digitalize your data now so that you can use it for future, right? What kind of new technology you want to use? What lean initiatives by cutting out manpower, reduce your processes, optimization of processes, manpower, automation, as well as what kind of materials. If at time you try to go to all these exhibitions, especially leading technologies such as Japan, Europe, or this Germany, especially to look at what kind of technology they are using. And in fact, China as well, okay? Because these enabling technologies may include connected devices, connected machines, connected people, big data analytics, and predictive maintenance. Will help your company to be globally competitive, like how China currently is now. They are more visible, flexible, more efficient, as well as, of course, trying to go for zero downtime. That will be the positive results you are looking at. And of course, little insights through the Forbes, which talk about IoT in enterprise transformation, right? Companies are seeing that whether you belong to the 40% of the companies where they are leaders in having extensive IoT deployment, or you're a builder where you have actually implemented IoT across selected functions or business areas, especially in terms of reducing HR or your production plant. Because some companies are starting up, they already implemented in some small scale, because that's very much encouraged, about 41%. Okay, the 7 key industries today very much impacted by IoT will be, of course, importantly, financial services, 58%, healthcare, telecommunications for sure, retail, manufacturing, transport, and energy. Okay, in financial services, you guys will be familiar with like your contactless payment. Of course, some countries, they already implemented facial recognition, smile to pay, or to even start to apply for a new credit facilities. You can actually have visual facial recognition. The mobile phones will be actually 51%, along with sensors and cameras, 48%. Right, and IoT will actually help them in terms of connectivity of their network and greater security. In healthcare, 55% is talking about deployment of audio devices and mobile phones to help them, especially in employee monitoring, 41%, as well as monitoring of facilities. And today we can see customers' experience are getting better and more enhanced by visual analytics. The nurse can come into the room to a patient with all his past history information at their fingertips, rather than checking through volumes of records, right? Okay, and a friend in Japan is actually using the heart embedded devices to manage your heartbeat patterns. All right, the nurse doesn't have to walk into your room anymore. Okay, you can remotely check. And in communications industry, 53% have actually IoT embedded in their processes or key business areas. Especially I can see in terms of the preventive maintenance, right? 44% increase of employee productivity, because they have a lot of channels, staff going around to field, to do support for clients as well as their facilities. And visual analytics very important at 38%, right? Manufacturing, 51% strongly agree that IoT has opened up new lines of businesses. Okay, with 52% indicate they have visual analytics capabilities. For example, in terms of rejection of spoiled products, you are actually using cameras and sensors to scan your confectionery production lines. All right, and of course, mobile phones and computer systems again are the main source of IoT data for manufacturers, about 48 and 47%, and mostly used for preventive maintenance and increasing productivity, 49%. And in retail, what can we see and what can you do nowadays, right? Of course, besides the so-called Walmart and Alibaba automated checkout points, you can actually have 51% report that they have deployed across their departments in terms of visual analytics, better understanding of customer preference and behavior by using computer system, 51%, and sensors, 47%, right? And this use case, which you can actually, as an example, what you can do will be business transformation, transforming a business by reducing more space use, okay? Providing training by enhanced augmented virtual reality. This is especially true in current situation, pandemic situation, where nowadays training can be carried out remotely using online classes. Previously, I have visited one of the retail chain stores, very big retail chain stores. Their training rooms, one whole building, like 2-3 floors of it. I think you can do away with that nowadays, right? And who doesn't know Fukushima in Japan, the energy company is there. Okay, TEPCO already using robots to do cleanups. Okay, and recently you can see SpaceX, all right, using the a lot of remotely controlling the robots, the docking, the spacecraft itself. All right. Leading source of data will be coming from your machineries, 49%, robots, 46%. And that way, monitoring your assets performance, enhancing your customers' experience. Like in Thailand, the shopping mall is rolling out robots to help you to sanitize your hands, right? And of course, boost overall efficiency. And 1/3 of the them reported they will have visual analytics, especially when you go into 3D 3D work areas, dangerous, dirty, okay, difficult areas, where you have camera-mounted drones or robots to help you to monitor your health or safety of production fields, okay, be it O&G, oil and gas, out in the deep sea, okay, and spotting those anomalies before they become a hazard. That's like preventive maintenance. And when we come to transportation, besides the familiar GPS, nowadays the tracking can be for cargo environment, your coal trucking, okay, if fuel efficiency, the vehicle speed, of course, to reduce the kind of accidents issues, idle time, as well as engine diagnostic, your tires diagnostics. These are important to help you in managing movement and logistics, okay? Because like this recent pandemic caused the spike in transportation for orders, okay? So online orders goes up. We have to make sure we increase the productivity at the same time, have better routing management. Gone are the days where you actually get your manual sheet, where your worksheet to tell you where to go from point to point for that day. Nowadays, the routes can change every minute, okay? Of course, cameras and sensors are very important now, especially to track your assets, besides your vehicles, as well as your employees. So with your interest in the IoT products, there comes like importation and sales requirement. For many countries, they have their own different regulatory requirements. For example, Malaysia, we're looking at NCMC. US, you look at CFCC, EU, EK, UK will be CE. But generally, there's three main things there. Will be your products conformity certification, where we talk about radio frequency, your safety requirements, as well as your SAR, specific absorption rate, okay, your EMC, okay, electromagnetic requirements. Secondly, we'll be looking at your product tracking, the traceability via, nowadays will be more of the e-labeling now. If you check your iPhones or your Samsung phones or your Huawei phones, you can see under the regulatory or legal information, there's a tracking code given for each individual unit besides your IMEI. With this tool, you can go for your customs e-permit importation. Of course, HarvestNet, we have been dealing with IoT as well as telecommunication regulatory information and requirement for a long time. Also for data solutions. Contact us for an exclusive discussion today. All right. You can check us out at the website as well as the email, and or give us a direct WhatsApp call. Okay, and for more information on today's technology as well as future requirements or your communication requirements, okay, subscribe us under and check out more of our to follow up on our Simplified series. With that, thank you, and like to say have a good day, and that's it. Thank you.